What is going on, guys? We're back with another tier list, okay? Y'all suggested we do this on stream multiple times. We have the Chronic CTE tier list. So we're going to be looking at some current UFC fighters, some retired, but UFC fighters that are most likely to develop chronic CTE. As you can see, we only have 3 tier lists. We have chronic CTE, slight brain damage, and then perfectly healthy. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. This is going to be fun. Starting off with the first option, we have Bryce Mitchell. Now, you guys saw Bryce Mitchell on the thumbnail. Bryce Mitchell is a guy who proclaims himself that he was born with CTE. He was born with brain damage. Bryce Mitchell, when your career is said and done, honestly, I think you already have it. We're starting off hot because we're going straight to chronic CTE for Bryce Mitchell. You know, we've already seen the signs, some of the things that he's been saying on the internet. Maybe he's born like this, like he says. I don't know, man. This man's already showing some early symptoms of CTE, and it's kind of scary. It's honestly kind of scary. It's not getting any better because this man got flatlined, KO'd into a seizure against Josh Emmett. First of all, Dana White knows exactly what he's doing with Bryce Mitchell. He's putting Bryce Mitchell up against Josh Emmett, Ilia Topuria, Jean Silva, the hardest hitting 145ers, the real hardest hitting 145ers probably that we've ever seen. And they all have a common opponent in Bryce Mitchell. Dana White has a bounty on his head, bro. He does. He has a bounty on Bryce Mitchell's head. He wants to shut him up, but I'm not going to lie to you. These heavy hitters, repeated damage to the brain of Bryce Mitchell makes it worse. He's developing chronic CTE, man. You're just going to hear crazier statements online. But let's keep going. I feel like that's a no-brainer. I feel like everybody will agree with this one. Let's keep it moving on to Sean Strickland. Here's the thing, you guys. Sean Strickland. Oh, this one's kind of tough, man. He's definitely not perfectly healthy. There's nothing about Sean Strickland's brain health that is healthy. He'll be the first one to tell you that. Sean Strickland, sort of similar to Bryce Mitchell in some ways. I think they're actually boys. But the thing about Sean Strickland is he doesn't get knocked out very often. Sean Strickland is a very hard fighter to hit cleanly. He has been KO'd in the past, but the thing about Sean Strickland is I was thinking about slight brain damage, but I'm putting him up there for chronic CTE as well. You're going to join your boy Bryce Mitchell. Listen, not everybody's going to be up there in that tier, but Sean Strickland, we've seen him. He says some crazy statements as well. He had a rough childhood. That's not, that may contribute to the CTE. I don't know. But Sean Strickland, he's been in some wars. When this man is in training camp, any footage, any sparring footage I ever see of Sean Strickland is pedal to the metal, hard sparring. So this man's taking repeated shots to the head. Sean Strickland, buddy, the CTE's coming. This man's going to be – I could see Sean Strickland being one of those guys that's in the media, let's say 10, 20 years from now. He's retired. He's still going to be relevant because of the crazy things he's saying on the internet. Probably similar to Bryce Mitchell. But yeah, I feel like those two are fitting next to each other. Let's keep it going on to Alexander Volkanovski. Volk. Oh, my sweet Pookie Princess Volkanovski. He's not the type to develop chronic CTE. Now, if you would have asked me this 2 years ago, I probably would have said perfectly healthy for Volkanovski, but Volkanovski's still fighting to this day. He's been chinny. He's been knocked out twice. And not just knocked out, but they were vicious, especially the Ilia Topuria one. Shut the lights out completely. Now, Volkanovski strikes me as a fighter that's going to stick around for way too long. Again, he's past his prime right now, but he still looks good. He's obviously still good enough to become the champion, as we saw against Diego Lopez. But he's still very chinny. I see another knockout, at least one more knockout coming in the future. Volkanovski, I'm going to say slight brain damage. He's not perfectly healthy. He's not on the level of Bryce Mitchell or Sean Strickland. But he's been KO'd a couple times. Volkanovski, I could definitely see Volkanovski developing Alzheimer's or dementia. I don't know if that's even how it works. I don't know if you can develop that from head trauma. I'm not sure. But I can see it. I can see old man Volk with dementia, man, maybe forgetting a thing or two. But it's not enough to put him at chronic CTE. But let's keep it rolling. On to the man that knocked out Alexander Volkanovski, the first man to do it. I know it was an AI video, man. I'm not falling for all that. But Islam Makhachev. Okay, guys, I just want to go ahead and say this. There's a difference, okay? We have autism in the UFC and we also have CTE. They can go hand in hand. But just because a fighter has autism does not mean he has CTE. But more than likely, when a fighter has CTE, he probably has autism as well. But they don't have to be correlated, okay? I feel like this is a perfect example of this with Islam Makhachev because I think Islam Makhachev is going to be perfectly healthy mentally. Now, Islam Makhachev has been in some wars like with Dustin Poirier. Not many wars, but he has with Dustin Poirier, Arman Sarukian. Has not taken a lot of beatings to the head. But Islam Makhachev, don't get it confused, guys. He has autism. He 100% has autism. Maybe we do an autism tier list next. I don't know. But Islam Makhachev stays safe on the feet. And he just doesn't strike me as a guy that's going to get knocked out cold. He has been knocked out before. But he doesn't strike me as a guy that's going to stick around too long, take repeated blows to the head. I just don't see it. I think Islam Makhachev is dedicated to his craft. He's very healthy. He's a very healthy individual, takes his training very seriously. I don't think even in the training sessions he's doing some hard sparring. I don't see that. Islam Makhachev, although he might look like an idiot at times, he's very funny. I don't think it's from CTE. I think it's straight from the TISM. So I'm putting Islam Makhachev in healthy. Let's move on to Max Holloway. Oh, Max Holloway. This one's tough, man. Maybe I should have added one in between chronic CTE and slight brain damage. I don't know. I feel like that's where Max Holloway fits. I'm floating between the top because Max Holloway, yes, he may have the record for most significant strikes landed, but he probably also has the record for most significant strikes absorbed. Now, he's probably not number one, but he's definitely up there. Max Holloway is up there. He's had a long career. This man came into the UFC when he was like 18, maybe 19 years old. So, if you guys know a little bit of biology, or not biology, a little bit of human anatomy, guys. Oh, I'm cooking. But when you're 18 years old, your brain is not fully developed, okay? I'm cooking, guys. Max Holloway came into the UFC when he was very young, and he hasn't just been knocked out multiple times. He's only been knocked out once, but he's taken a lot of trauma to the brain. Max Holloway has been in some wars. He's been in some scraps. He's been busted up in plenty of fights. Max Holloway, I can see it, man. I really can see it. I'm going chronic CTE. We've seen some of the symptoms after the Ilia Topuria KO. Guys, if you don't know what I'm talking about, just go pull up, after this video, obviously, go pull up Max Holloway's YouTube channel and just watch him reacting to some UFC fights, bro. He's not all the way there, man. He's losing some brain cells as we speak. Max Holloway even took a break from sparring in his training camps. Now, is it because of the CTE they saw was developing? I don't know. Probably so. But Max Holloway, not as much as Bryce Mitchell, but I'm going to put him in chronic CTE. Next up, we have Alex Pereira. Oh, this one's tough. This one's really tough. Alex Pereira has been knocked out once in the UFC. Pretty good chin, Alex Pereira. He does have a pretty good chin. But the thing is, Alex Pereira is old. He's had a lot of kickboxing fights. So, is that enough to put him in healthy? Maybe not. He's not a chronic CTE guy. He's not. Alex Pereira, I don't know, man. I just feel like Alex Pereira he's built different, bro. He's obviously built different. This man has big bones. He's big boned, guys. He has a massive, thick skull, I bet. And I just feel like he's healthy. I feel like Alex Pereira is still going to be healthy. I'll put him slight brain damage, though. We'll put him in slight brain damage just because of the amount of fights that he's had, amount of repeated blows to the head. I feel like he's more on the healthier side than CTE. I don't see Alex Pereira, later in his career or when he's retired, going on Twitter saying something outlandish like BJ Penn. I don't see that. I feel like he's closer to an Islam Makhachev or closer to somebody who's never fought than a BJ Penn. At least that's what I think. I can see the argument for healthy, bro. I really can. But he's a glory kickboxing champion, been in a lot of fights, a lot of kickboxing fights. So I'm going to put him in slight brain damage. I can see Volkanovski having more brain damage than Pereira. But you know what? That's where we'll put him. Oh my gosh, guys. Next up, Bobby, a.k.a. King Green. Guys, this might be the worst one. This might be the worst one. Bobby Green has been brutally knocked out a couple of times, man. He has. Bobby Green already is not smart. He already doesn't have that many brain cells to begin with. But every bit of brain cells he has had are gone. They're all the way gone. Bobby Green's an idiot, bro. Bobby Green, oh my gosh. This is the worst one, bro. I think this is the worst one. Tell me you cannot picture this. Bobby Green, 10 years from now, going on Twitter. He's going to have a BJ Penn type of run. I just know he is. Bobby Green's going to be off the walls, unhinged. And, I don't wish this upon anybody, but I could definitely see Bobby Green developing some severe mental CTE disorders. I don't even know if I worded that right, but he's going to have brain damage, brother. 100%. He already has brain damage. Not only that, but the UFC uses Bobby Green as a stepping stone for upcoming prospects. You cannot tell me they don't. I should pull up his record, but Bobby Green's been in there with straight killers, back to back to back to back. But he's been in there with Islam Makhachev, who's not really going to give you brain damage like that. But he's going to submit you at least. He's going to take you down and have his way with you. But Bobby Green fought Islam Makhachev. He recently got brutally KO'd by Mauricio Rufy. He's been in there. I think he got KO'd by Drew Dober, Dustin Poirier. But he's also been in there with the likes of Paddy Pimblett, man. They just use these upcoming stars to push them. They use Bobby Green as a stepping stone. He got brutally knocked out. He got murdered by Jalen Turner. And now that I'm thinking on it, I think he actually got knocked out by Islam too. But Bobby Green been knocked out multiple times. He already doesn't have that many brain cells to begin with. And they're all gone, bro. Bobby Green, I can see him losing his speech, to be honest. I can see this man sort of becoming a vegetable, man. I could see it. Next up, we got Nate Diaz. Man, I don't want to overload this chronic CTE tier, but I think we have to. I think we got to go with Nate Diaz and chronic CTE. The thing about Nate Diaz is weird. He's very durable, like Max Holloway, but he's been in some wars. Like I said, he's taken repeated blows to the head. Nate Diaz has so many fights. And Nate Diaz is sort of similar to Bobby Green in the terms of he's an idiot, probably doesn't have that many brain cells to begin with. And if he has any brain cells left from fighting, they're fried from him smoking weed and doing whatever else he does. But Nate Diaz, dude, Nate Diaz, man, he's already losing his speech. He's going to be like Bobby Green. He's going to lose his speech. He already can't speak proper English. He doesn't even know what a gazelle is, man. But Nate Diaz, I'm sorry to tell you, you definitely already have it. Not only this, he's been in some boxing fights. This man got dropped by Jake Paul. And you know what? Jake Paul is actually a good boxer. I'm not sitting here saying that he's not, but the thing is, Nate Diaz has been in so many fights. He's been in boxing matches with Jorge Masvidal as well. He just loves taking blows to the head. He loves it. I think this man's whole goal in life is to see how badly I can develop brain damage. That's what I think it is. Nate Diaz has to be chronic CTE. But let's keep it rolling on with Johnny Bones Jones, a.k.a. Jonald Duck. I think Jon Jones is going to be healthy, bro. I know he's been in a lot of UFC fights, but Jon Jones does not get hit very often, to be honest. And he doesn't get hit very cleanly. Jon Jones takes care of his body, okay? And he's ducking Tom Aspinall. This is a big factor here, man. But if Tom Aspinall were to fight Jon Jones, there's a chance. There's definitely a chance that Jon Jones could get brutally KO'd. He could. Tom Aspinall has that kind of power. But dude, Jon Jones, I would love to see him fight Tom Aspinall. It's not going to happen. Jon Jones is safe. I think he's safe. Obviously, he has some moments that are weird, but I wouldn't even say Jon Jones has the tism. I think he just has the zestiness, bro. He's definitely off. He has something off with him. I don't know what it is. I can't exactly pinpoint it, but Jon Jones, I think he's healthy. Mentally, I think he's healthy. In terms of brain damage, maybe some other areas not so much, but Jon Jones, I don't see him developing CTE. I don't see him going off the rails. I see him living, I'm not going to say a normal life because he's not a normal human, but I can see him, just living his best life like he's doing right now, man, on vacation, partying it up, whatever. Jon Jones, sure, you're healthy, buddy, okay? Next up, Dustin the Diamond Poirier. Another guy who came into the UFC or started fighting at least when he was very young. I believe he joined the WEC first when he was very young. But he's been in some scraps, man. Dustin Poirier. I don't know why I just thought of this, but y'all remember the moment, the press conference? I can't remember what press conference it was. It might have been O'Malley and Garbrandt were arguing, and then Dustin Poirier just started seizing out, man. Hot sauce for everybody. It was something like that, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry y'all had to see that. It was something like that. But Dustin Poirier, he's been in some brutal wars, man. He's been chinned a couple times. He's done the chinning a couple times as well. Dustin Poirier, you're not safe. You're not healthy. He's definitely not healthy. And the thing is, to end his career, he's going in there with Max Holloway. So you know both of those fighters are going to be leaving that octagon with less brain cells than they had before. They're going to put it all out on the line. Hopefully I get to see that fight in person. But it's going to be a war, man. Those guys are going to leave that fight specifically with brain damage. And Dustin Poirier, I'm going to say slight brain damage. I don't see him going off the rails either. But he's definitely not healthy. He's definitely not healthy. Dustin Poirier, low-key, I feel like he was one of those dudes that was born with something wrong with him, too. You know what? I feel like to be a UFC fighter, you have to have something wrong with you in general. But Dustin Poirier, I'm going to go slight brain damage. But let's keep it rolling. We only have 5 more options. Next up, Jiri Prochazka. Jiri Prochazka, the man, the myth, the legend. I love me some Jiri Prochazka, but he's been known in the past to block punches with his face. Also has had a lot of mixed martial arts fights. Jiri, as much as I hate it, I got to go Chronic CTE, man. The thing is, he's been knocked out. The first knockout against Pereira wasn't even that bad. Kind of a questionable stoppage, but the second one was so bad. That image is scarred in my head. I feel like that one alone could have done it. And the thing about Jiri is definitely an autist, okay? Hall of Fame autist, if you want to say that. But he might be the best of both worlds. He might have the TISM and CTE. I don't know, man. He's been in so many wars. He's taken a lot of damage, a lot of punishment over the career. Now, he's not a chinny fighter at all. He's not a chinny fighter. I could see him being close to slight brain damage, but I'm going to put him Chronic CTE. I can't get the image of him versus Pereira in the second fight out of my head. But anyway, Jiri Prochazka, he's still young. The thing about Jiri, I could see Jiri sticking around too long as well. The samurai spirit leading him to victory. Eventually, he's going to start getting chinned. I could see him having a fall off like Dominic Reyes late in his career. Now, I don't want to spit that into existence because actually Dominic Reyes he's on a title run right now. He has bounced back. But I could see Jiri Prochazka getting cracked one more time in his career and just being completely chinny after that, like a Chuck Liddell. I could see him being somebody known for having a granite chin and then flipping the switch, getting knocked out bad, and having a glass chin. I could see it, but let's keep it moving on. Justin Gaethje, man, this filter's loaded. This tier list is loaded, bro. Justin Gaethje is going to develop chronic CTE. He 100% is, bro. He definitely is. You cannot tell me. Justin Gaethje, another fighter that has the autism, but also has the CTE. Guys, every single fight that Justin Gaethje has been in has earned a fight of the night bonus or a performance bonus in some way, shape, or form. Every single one. Maybe excluding one, I don't know. But Justin Gaethje, every single fight he's going to war. He gets rocked in almost every single fight. Now, he wins a majority of his fights, but even if he wins, there was a moment in round 1, round 2, maybe even round 3 where Justin Gaethje, hit the chicken dance a little bit. Now, Justin Gaethje is, again, another idiot, but Justin Gaethje is the type of fighter that loves violence, and it's great for the fans, but it's not great for your mental health. And for that reason, Justin Gaethje is 100% going to develop chronic CTE, bro. You can see the symptoms already showing. Justin Gaethje's demanding a title shot or he's going to retire. Nobody in their right mind thinks that Justin Gaethje deserves a title shot right now. Not over Ilia Topuria. And if Max Holloway beats Dustin Poirier, definitely not over Max Holloway. Even not over Arman Tsarukyan. But that's another story for another day. Justin Gaethje, we already see the symptoms, buddy. You're going to develop chronic CTE. Let's move on to Tony Ferguson, man. Mm, this one's stacked, bro. Maybe I stacked it too much because all these fighters, bro, all these fighters up here, I can 100% seeing with chronic CTE. Tony Ferguson, you can already see it. Tony Ferguson is another fighter that I think was just born with CTE. And the thing about Tony is he's similar to a Nate Diaz or a Max Holloway because he was very durable. But Tony Ferguson has stuck around for way too long and not even got brutally KO'd like that. He just, uh, he has CTE, bro. You know he has CTE. You cannot argue this. Tony Ferguson is the type of guy to develop chronic CTE at age 22. You know he is. First of all, he's not right. I don't know what his training looks like, but I've seen clips of this man punching, kicking a metal pole. So maybe part of Tony Ferguson's routine is also taking some shots on the chin from that metal pole as well. You know, he hits the metal pole. The metal pole might even hit him back. I could see it. Tony Ferguson, you have CTE, buddy. You already have it. We already see it. It's okay, though. Next up, Marvin Vettori. Marvin Vettori, bro. This is a sleeper pick. I could see Marvin Vettori having chronic CTE, another guy who's very, very durable, but is taking a lot of shots. Look at the Jared Cannonier fight. Jared Cannonier broke, I believe it was the middleweight record for significant strikes landed in a fight, and he could not knock out Marvin Vettori. Very durable, granite chin. Dude, I can see it. You know what? I'm putting Marvin Vettori here too. I know this one's loaded, like I'm saying, but Marvin Vettori is going to develop chronic CTE as well. His chin's probably going to get cracked at some point. Maybe not, though. Maybe not. But tell me you cannot see Marvin Vettori crashing out on Twitter 10 years from now about something so stupid or something that's not even real. Maybe something conspiracy related. I don't know, bro. I can see it. Marvin Vettori's the type of guy to develop CTE and go on a full rant, trying to start World War III probably on Twitter. Tell me you cannot see it, guys. And last but definitely not least, Johnny Walker, man. Oh boy, where do I begin? I'm sorry, we have to do it, man. There's only two safe options, only two healthy individuals. That's Islam and Jon Jones. Johnny Walker, you get knocked out in the most cartoonish ways every single time. Look at the Jamal Hill fight. You know what's funny about Johnny Walker? He was this close to landing a flying knee on Magomed Ankalaev. Imagine if that would have landed, he would have knocked out Ankalaev. The light heavyweight timeline would be so different. Pereira would still be champion, man. You know, maybe we see Jiri Prochazka, Alex Pereira trilogy. I don't know, man. I want to see Alex Pereira fight Johnny Walker next. No hate to Johnny Walker. I actually like Johnny Walker, but we would get the funniest knockout of all time. You know, Alex Pereira would throw his patented left hook, land on the chin of Johnny Walker, and probably send him into orbit. It'd probably send Johnny Walker legitimately off of his feet, flipping over the cage. I could so see that. I could see his jaw getting sent into the fifth row of the stands, bro. But, guys, this is the Chronic CTE tier list. Let me know what you agree with, what you disagree with. Guys, I know, I'm sorry, but there's a lot of fighters that I think are going to develop chronic, severe CTE. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Also, let me know in the comments what other videos, maybe some other tier lists you want to see next. But go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new, and turn the post notifications on. But we out.